Hello students, welcome to this video on the Edible Woman by Margaret Atwood. And in this video, we are going to look at chapter 15. As usual, we will look at what has happened in chapter 14 before we go on to chapter 15. Although there is only one particular incident there, which is a continuation that happens which has a continuity in chapter 15. We are going to see why, okay, as we look at chapter 15. But just a quick look at chapter 14. We saw Marian coming back to her room, to her flat, and Ainsley, we realized that in that chapter, we realized that Ainsley is planning to seduce Len, and she wants Marian to be absent or not to be in the room in the room when Ainsley comes along with Len. So Marian has a problem now. Her, her dinner appointment or dinner date with Peter has been cancelled, which we saw in chapter 13. And so now she decides to go to the movies. There is also a description of how the relationship between Len and Ainsley has progressed over the past 2 months. Okay, so and they come up with an elaborate clue on how to understand if Ainsley has occupied her bedroom or Marian's bedroom. So that she's clear. And she goes to the movies and she sees Duncan there. And since the cinema hall is half empty, the Duncan is sitting 2 seats away. And he's actually munching something, which is revealed later in a later chapter. In fact, in chapter 15, he says from behind that it's pumpkin seeds, but Marian thinks that she has been hallucinating. Okay, but she finds empty shells where Duncan was sitting. So she thought maybe I thought that some person was sitting and all that, but she has a bigger problem to deal with, and that is coming back to her room. See, I am referring to their room, Ainsley and Marian's room as room, flat, apartment. So don't worry, don't get confused. Okay. Apparently, they live in a large house. One portion of the large house, which is in the first floor. Okay. So, and since they have to climb down the stairs, that's how we know. We saw that in chapter 1. So she's so the lady down below says, I thought it was a man's, I saw a man going up, but that person is not, come down, has not, and I don't know whether this person is still there. And then Marian reassures the lady down below that there's no problem, don't worry, abdina solra. Actually, what happens is, Len and Ainsley and Len have occupied Marian's room. So she goes and occupies Ainsley's room and she sleeps. Actually, chapter 15 should begin with, a description of what has happened to them. But no, there is a connection with the previous incident that we see in chapter 13, not in chapter 14. You remember that in chapter 13, there is a call from Joe Bates, who says that Clara has given birth to a healthy baby girl. So Marian promises that she'll come and visit Clara, and that is what she does in chapter 15. Chapter 15 begins with Marian's visit to the hospital to see Clara and Clara's baby. Okay, so Marian goes to the hospital to see Clara. Actually, she leaves the office an hour early. She has adjusted the lunch hour in such a way she doesn't go out for lunch. She, orders food to the office. She eats it so that she can leave the office an hour early. And then she goes to the hospital to see Clara. And before going to the hospital, what she has done is Marian buys flowers for Clara to present it to her, as a gift. Okay, so she buys flowers, and actually she buys, what flowers does she buy? She buys white roses. Okay, and she goes and visits Clara. She sees that she is in a particular ward. Okay, Clara looks very thin, and because now she has given birth to the baby, she looks very thin. She presents her with the flowers. Clara thanks her for that. Okay. So, and Clara is happy that she has come down at last to see her. Remember, Marian and Clara have not been meeting very often. After the proposal, after Peter has proposed to her. Okay, so actually, Clara makes a very very comical remark. She says, I have to be careful. I hope the nurse puts it in the proper water bottle, தண்ணி இருக்கிற பாட்டில போட்டா better. I hope she doesn't stick it to the bedpan. And you know what the bedpan is used for? It is usually used for carrying our waste. I mean the patient's waste. Okay. So what Marian does now is she draws the curtains by drawing. I mean, அது இழுக்கிறா. Okay. She draws the curtains around Clara's bed and they talk so that they get some privacy from the surrounding ஒரு மாதிரி செமி ஜெனரல் வார்டு மாதிரி செமி பிரைவேட் வார்டு மாதிரி நினைச்சுக்கோங்களேன். In one place there will be some 4 or 5 women in one room or one part of the room. Okay, so you don't get private rooms are very costly, you know that. If they were costly, they are costly even today. Anyway, so she, after drawing the curtains, they are talking, and Clara talks about the childbirth. Okay, remember, Clara has given birth to the baby just the previous day. Marian talks to her the next day. அடுத்த நாளைக்கு. So the baby is hardly a day old. Okay, to be more precise, a day and a half old, almost 2 days old. ஏன்னா ராத்திரி 2 மணிக்கு அந்த குழந்தை பிறந்திருக்கு, which was mentioned in chapter 30. Okay, so Clara talks about how the child was born. She gives a bit of a graphic description in page number 156. When I give these references, remember, I want you to go through that page in the novel. Okay, அதையாவது உட்காந்து படிங்கன்னு சொல்ல வரேன், வேற ஒன்றும் இல்லை. And she compares it to opening a Christmas present. அவரை சொல்லி முடிச்ச உடனே she makes a very surprising statement. She makes a statement which surprises Marian. She says, you ought to try it sometime. நீனும் ட்ரை பண்ணி பார்க்கணும். சைல்டு பர்த் என்ன டிஃபன் சாப்பிட்ற மாதிரியா, அது என்னப்பா? You ought to try it sometime. So Marian immediately is surprised by what Clara has said just now, and she compares it with, and she's very casual about it. This is a very casual remark. So what she does is she compares this statement by Clara with that of Ainsley. Both talk in a very casual manner about childbirth. Of course, for Clara, this is her third pregnancy and third childbirth. Okay, so and in fact, when she's making the statement, she's also saying, it is so in the childbirth people casual Marian is, both Clara and Ainsley talk about it very casually. Okay, so they are casual about childbirth. Of course, she has gone through a third pregnancy, as I mentioned. So what really happens here, Marian is, and in fact, Clara also says that, I wonder why children have to be born like this through the fetus. Why don't, children, why can't there be eggs? Actually, in evolutionary biology, there's a particular reason why this eggs, mammals-க்கு ஏன் இந்த மாதிரி குழந்தை பிறக்கிறது அப்படிங்கிறது நீங்க எடுத்து பார்க்கலாம். I would recommend this person is a biologist, Professor Nick Lane from University College London. Please read his books, please read his articles, and you will know why we are the way we are, why our biology is the way it is. Okay, now you are adult, so you can, and there's nothing porno or anything about it, so don't worry about it. Yeah, and he's a biologist. So Nick Lane is a evolutionist and a biologist, and his books are, I've in fact bought one book of his, and I'll show it to you later maybe. Well, I thought, why delay it till the next video? This is the book that I bought recently by Nick Lane, The Vital Question. It talks about how life is the way it is, evolution especially. So அதனால தான் இதுல ஏன் இந்த eggs பத்தி இவங்க பேசுறாங்க அப்படிங்கிறது it is very surprising. But anyway, there is a particular reason why Clara says this. She is actually, ஒரு flowல பேசுறா. ஒரு flowல வந்து she is talking about this Christmas presents, and then she says, why aren't children born in eggs? And so they can be like bird eggs, அது மாதிரி வரலாமே அப்படின்னு அவர் சொல்றாங்க. And then so Marian wonders what they are going to call the baby. Okay, what is the name that they will keep for the baby? And just to change this topic, because she found this topic a bit okay, and they are not very sure about that. So there are two names that Clara suggests. One is Vivian Lynn, who is the this is the name. So we are assuming that Vivian is Clara's grandmother's name and Lynn is Joe's grandmother's name. Okay, so combining two names. Okay, nothing wrong about that, but then again, Vivian Lynn அப்படின்னு நாங்க பேர் வைக்கலாம் நினைச்சிட்டு இருக்கோம் அப்படின்னு. Okay, so that is the and then Clara talks about Joe. Okay, she says that Joe is very pleased with the daughter, although most of the men with a baby girl, although most of the men would have preferred a son. Okay, so very pleased with the baby girl, so there's no problem. And then Marian wonders if she should have brought Clara something. Okay, if she should have brought Clara something to read. So Clara says that she is getting enough. Actually, she cannot read much because she is surrounded by the talk of women who keep on discussing their illnesses in graphic detail. ஒரு மாதிரி எனக்கு ஒரு குழந்தை செத்து போயிடுத்து, எனக்கு பிரஸ்ட் கேன்சர் அப்படின்னு இவங்க பாட்டுக்கு ஒவ்வொரு தேர் கம்பேரிங் தேர் இல்னஸஸ் அண்ட் லைக் I don't know, I mean, something like a service medal, she says. They are comparing it as if this is some sort of service medal. See, a service medal is something that you get in the army for showing bravery. And they are proud to talk about it. Breast cancer, miscarriage, நடந்து போச்சு அப்படின்னு அவங்க இது பண்றாங்க. So எனக்கு enough entertainment இருக்கு. And actually, Clara calls them very morbid. Morbid in the sense, இவங்கெல்லாம் பேசுறது ஒன்றும் it doesn't, you cannot talk about illnesses in such detail to the hearing of others. மற்றவங்க கேட்குற அளவுக்கு நீங்க இது பண்ணக்கூடாது. So anyway, Clara says this, that she says that I cannot read much with so many people around me talking so much. Yeah. So what happens when Clara gives all these details? Marian wonders. Actually, there is a particular assessment that Marian has done about Clara. Wonders as to how Clara has become so clever. How Clara is analyzing all this so cleverly. She had thought so cleverly. Actually, she was giving remember, don't forget, Clara was also a university graduate. அவங்க முடிக்கலங்கிறது வேற விஷயம். She didn't complete her her studies. Marian had underestimated Clara's observation. Okay, had underestimated Clara's. அது எல்லா ஒர்க்கிங் விமனும் பண்ணுவாங்க. They think that those who stay at home and take care of children will not have any observation. Remember, நான் ஓட்டு போடுறதுல இருந்து ஒரு எக்கனாமிக் விஷயம் வரைக்கும், I think a housewife has a much better perception of the economy, of cleanliness, of sanitation, of the road condition than working women. That is, working women will be very tired. அவங்களால இது பண்ண முடியாது. So she had underestimated Clara's intellectual capabilities. Okay. So see, one of the reasons certain politicians will be very popular with the housewives. ஸோ ஏமா அவரை போய் சப்போர்ட் பண்றீங்க, இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு பர்சனை போய் சப்போர்ட் பண்றீங்க, இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு லேடி பொலிட்டிஷியனை போய் சப்போர்ட் பண்றீங்க, ஏன்னா இதனாலதான் சப்போர்ட் பண்றேன் அப்படிம்பாங்க. ஸோ டோன்ட் அண்டர் எஸ்டிமேட் ஹவுஸ் ஒய்ஃப்ஸ். ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் த டிபிக்கல் திங் தட் that underestimation of a person who stays at home and who gives birth to children. Okay, so this was a shock to Marian. And remember, Marian thought maybe this is because of pregnancy and all that, but then she realizes that Clara is going about analyzing all this with a lot of clarity, and she's doing it in a very clear manner, ஒரு மாதிரி ஒரு வெயிட்டட் மேனர்ல படபடன்னு பேசாம கரெக்டா பேசி இது பண்றா. And then what happens is Clara talks about Joe again. Okay, And Joe and Arthur, her husband Joe and her son and their son, and their son Arthur. Her son and their son Arthur. So what has happened is she praises Joe for being a very good husband, for taking care of the children during her pregnancy. So she praises Joe for taking care of the children during her pregnancy. And also she's talking about Arthur. Clara talks about Arthur, her son Arthur, to Marian. She says, Arthur is not completely toilet trained, but he has developed the habit of rolling his own shit into little pellets, okay, and hiding them. So Clara thinks that this is an indication that he will become a banker. Actually, this is the writer's, revenge on bankers. Remember, J.K. Rowling, ஒரு பேங்கரை காட்டுறதுக்கு பதிலா காப்ளின்ஸை காட்டியிருக்கா. ஸோ செக் அவுட் ஜேகே ரவுலிங்கோட ஹாரி பாட்டர்ல she has shown bankers as goblins. The goblins are the bankers. Okay, so that is, remember, people have a very strange relationship with bankers. Okay, bankla வேலை செய்யறவங்க, especially westல கேட்கவே வேண்டாம். And even we have this, even in the Three Idiots, Amir Khan makes fun of a banker, okay, ultimately a banker. But remember, the financial world gave probably the best salaries ever. It is still giving the best salaries ever. So that is why you find a lot of PhDs, gray and the best minds going to going to work in a bank. Anyway, so it is an indication. And I feel Margaret Atwood as a writer is, taking a revenge on bankers through by writing like this. Okay, so அவங்க இதை பத்தி பேசிட்டு, and then Clara talks about, she says, it's a very good thing, okay, Clara says that it's a good thing that you got engaged. And finally, actually here she indicates, now we also get, this is clear only now, that neither Clara nor Joe, both of them, okay, have met Peter. So they would like to meet Peter. They know Peter only through what, the engagement of Marian is discussed. They would like to get to know Peter in detail, in more intimately. They would like to become, of course, they are inviting Peter because now he's also, the Peter பத்தி அவங்க எப்படி தெரியும்னா Marian பேசி தெரியும். Okay, so and then Clara talks about, Clara says that when she married Joe, she thought that Joe was, she's using these words, that, I realized, she realized that Joe wasn't perfect. So as she's talking about Joe, these are the following things that Clara discovered about Joe after their wedding, after their marriage. Okay, after they were married, after wedding. So after they got married, she discovered that she thought that Joe was perfect before her marriage, and before they got married. So, and she compares, she says, oh, he must be equal to Jesus Christ, which is actually only a metaphor. Okay, but then she realized that Joe was crazy about Audrey Hepburn. These are things that you discover about your husband as the relationship progresses. And he was also into philately. So Marian says, philately na enna appdin kekra, ava seriya kekla, adu aval kaadukku pola. So she says, stamp collection, he's into stamp collection. And now she says, Clara thinks that Joe is one of the minor saints, minor saints in the Christian, minor Christian saints. Okay, so she says, after marriage, when I discovered this, that he was crazy about Audrey Hepburn. Audrey Hepburn is an actress. Okay, and that he's into stamp collection. Now she's settled. Now she knows what she can expect from Joe, and she thinks that he's one of the minor saints. Actually, Marian pities Clara for having such an ideal relationship with Joe. She realizes, she thinks, actually, அவ யோசிக்கிறா, அவ இவ பேசிட்டு இருக்கும்போது, she thinks that her relationship, Marian and Peter's relationship, is going to be much better. They will be going into marriage, okay, into married life, into wedlock with far fewer illusions. Okay, இவங்கள மாதிரி illusions வச்சுட்டு இது வச்சுட்டு போக மாட்டோம். Because why? Because we know each other much better. That was not the case with Joe and you know, and see, all this is a Western perspective. Okay, how do I marry someone whom I don't know? அப்படின்னா இந்த கேள்வி எல்லாரும் கேட்பாங்க. See again, there is a theory for that. I'll talk about that theory later when you call me to talk about social issues. Okay, I avoid speaking about social and political issues because there is no standard operating procedure for that. But let me tell you, you are not marrying a stranger. You are marrying someone who is compatible to you. Marriage is all about that. Anyway, so we know each other much better. So she is comparing her relationship with that of Clara and Joe. Okay, Joe and Clara would a married relationship oda ava vandu idu pandra. Okay, so and Marion was thinking, Marion was actually thinking about her relationship with Peter. So it is almost time her the visitor's time is over. And she says actually she has not seen the baby yet. Okay, so the baby, Marion has not seen the baby. Actually baby வந்து separate room la வச்சிருக்காங்க. Okay, so you can see the baby girl, Clara's baby, and so she decides that she will see the baby later. Okay, எப்படியும் நீ வந்து அங்க போய் பார்க்கணும். Yeah, so she will see the baby later. இதை டிசைட் பண்ணிட்டு she's yeah, so and at the end of the conversation when she leaves, so Marion when she so she decides to see the baby later. So when she leaves Clara's room, Clara's ward, she's glad that she's not Clara. But remember, just note this down, keep it in your mind. In a later chapter, her entire situation will be in such a way, her situation will change so much that again when you contrast it with Clara's, you will realize who is better placed. Okay, anyway, so this is over. She's trying to come out of the hospital room, and actually she's thinking of a phone call that she got when she was in office that day. Okay, so she got a phone call when she was in office, from actually she had got 2 phone calls. One was from actually Peter had called her. Okay, Peter had called Marion and had actually fixed a dinner date with her. Okay, so that was one with Marion. So now they are meeting quite often and having dinner together, having conversations and etc. But then she had to cancel it. She had to cancel this dinner date later. She had to cancel this dinner date later. She had to call Peter and then said sorry, maybe tomorrow அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு அவ வந்து cancel பண்றா. And she doesn't feel very guilty about it because Peter had cancelled another dinner date previously, which forced her to go to the movies because Ainsley was having some plans with Len. So because she did this because she got a call from Duncan. Now let us look at Duncan's call. Duncan actually calls, Peter makes the first call. Duncan அதுக்கப்புறம் தான் கால் பண்றாரு. Duncan calls Marion. Actually he finds her, actually அவ வந்து அவ கார்டு விட்டுட்டு போறா இல்லையா after the beer interview. She has given all her details to Duncan. So he calls Marion at the office and he introduces himself as the guy at the laundromat, and he says he doesn't introduce himself as the beer interview person. No. So and he says that he had come to see the movies. Okay, he had come to see the movie theater. Okay, that same movie which she saw the previous night. Okay, he had come to see the movie and he was having pumpkin seeds. He was eating pumpkin seeds. He does this to overcome his He does this to overcome. He uses this to overcome his urge to smoke. Okay, so Marian யோசிக்கிறா இதுக்கு டங்கன் நம்ம இங்க why should this guy call us here? And he also says that he left before the movie ended. Okay, he left before the movie ended, and it was he who had told her he had spoken the words pumpkin seeds into her ears, because he knows that she was curious. Okay, so நான் மூவி முடியறதுக்கு முன்னாடியே நான் வந்து கிளம்பிட்டேன். And so before the movie ended and before she could turn around, he had said pumpkin seeds அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு அவர் கிளம்பிட்டார். இது அவர் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணிட்டு then he explains his purpose. So Duncan has a purpose. He says that, look, I would like to have a conversation with you. He wants to talk to Marian, but not for anything. He has a very strange request. Okay, he says that Marian should. So he has a very strange request. He wants Marian to bring clothes so that he can iron things out. Remember, actually he is doing this. He had mentioned this laundromat la meet பண்ணும்போது கூட he had said that he does this ironing as a method, as a counter to the monotony that he suffers during his study, due to his study. And Marian agrees to this request. Agrees to this request mainly because she wants to avoid the embarrassment, the confrontation that she will have with the lady down below or with Ainsley, with what Len and Ainsley have done the previous the previous night. So this particular chapter 15 happens the day after Len and Ainsley meet in their room, and also a day after she sees the movie, obviously. So avoid meeting the lady down below precisely because she wants to avoid a showdown with சரி அவர் யாரு ஏதுன்னு கேட்கறதுக்குள்ள சரி நம்ம போயிட்டு வந்துட்டோம்னா நம்ம இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் if we have if I have some more time, then it will be better. I'll be able to avoid this incident totally. That is, avoid talking to the lady down below. Okay, so she says that Marian agrees to come after 7. So we are going to see Marian going to Duncan's flat in the next chapter. So next chapter in our 7 in the evening. So that is why she has cancelled this dinner date with Peter. So please understand the entire context. So இதனால தான் she is rushing. ஒரு 6 மணி நேரம் பேசியிருப்பாங்க கிளாராவோட பேசிட்டு she the visitor's time is over. So what she does is she is leaving the hospital and she has a very strange experience. Okay, and as she is leaving the hospital, she encounters a person. Okay, so what has happened is she forgot her way out. She forgot the way out. So what happens is she meets a doctor. A doctor who has worn a mask. Okay, obviously a doctor who is going into an operation theater or somewhere very sensitive, and she feels that. So she's not able to see his face, see this doctor's face. So what has happened is Marian thinks that she can recognize, feels that this doctor wearing this mask is very familiar. But then, okay, I'll continue in a fresh page. So a doctor passes her by. She sees a doctor with a mask, and then she thinks that this person looks very familiar. But then the doctor walks past Marian, and பின்னாடி போகும்போது திரும்பி பார்க்கறா. When he walks past her, she notices that this person has got a bald spot on the back of his head. Only when he walks past, she realizes that, and Marian realizes that she does not know any man with a bald spot. And somehow she feels relieved. Okay, she feels relieved because of this. So something like, thinking that Peter is the underwear man, and the mari, or she has this, strange feeling of feeling that I know this person. So this is how chapter 15 ends. So let us quickly look at chapter 15 before we say goodbye in this video. So chapter 15 begins with, Marian's visit to the hospital to see Clara, where she has given birth to a healthy baby girl the previous day. So the baby is around 1.5 days old, and she comes to meet Clara along with a gift of with a bunch of roses, white roses. Okay, and Clara talks, gives her analysis about marriage, about childbirth, and how Joe is very pleased to have a baby girl, etc. And Marion is a bit surprised to hear Clara analyzing everything so cleverly. She had underestimated Clara's intellectual capabilities. And then, she praises Joe, and then she says that Arthur is now toilet trained, there's no problem. But then he has a very strange habit, and she thinks that because of that, he's going to become a banker. Okay. So, and then she talks about how she discovered certain idiosyncrasies of Joe after her marriage to Joe. So Marion pities Clara and Joe's relationship because it seems to be very ideal, very romantic, and she uses this term that their relationship appears very complacent. Okay, so the relationship of Clara and Joe, ideal and complacent. This is the complacent. There is no, see, the word complacent is used when you are not bothered about you don't take things seriously. So இது வந்து ஒரு ideal relationship. Complacent means when you don't when you are not serious about not serious in the sense ஒரு சீரியஸான விஷயத்தை ரொம்ப ஜாலியா எடுத்துக்கிறது, ஒரு ரொம்ப கேஷுவலா எடுத்துக்கிறது. ஓகே, அண்ட் இன்ஃபேக்ட் இந்த கான்டெக்ட்ல complacentனா Clara and Joe are very satisfied with each other. Okay, you are not supposed to be satisfied with your, oh god, that is a I'm anyway, I'll give you my views on this later. Okay, let us not go into the social part of it. Anyway, just look at the summary and get away with it. Fine. So she's comparing her relationship with Peter with that of Clara and Joe's, and she feels that her relationship will work out much better. Actually, so before she has left office, while she was working today, she got 2 phone calls. One was from from Peter. Sorry, I used the word Philip. The other was from Duncan. So because of Duncan's call, he calls and places a very strange request. He says that he wants to iron clothes. So he wants Marion to bring clothes with her. Because of this request, she is canceling the dinner date with Peter. And when she leaves the hospital, she sees a doctor who has masked himself up. And she thinks that she has seen she sees a very familiar person there, but actually that person is not familiar to her. As he passes by, she feels that she knows that she doesn't know any doctor or any man with a bald spot on his head, on the back of his head. Okay, so with a bald spot on the back of his head. So this she realizes, and that is how chapter 15 closes. But please watch out. There is going to be a comparison of Ainsley, Clara, and Marion that we will do. And with this, we complete chapter 15. So keep the questions coming in. Ella videos on Parango, you have all the time on your hands. So please do it. And keep best of luck and goodbye.